Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Xbox On. We're here at E3 and have just witnessed the Xbox briefing, which was absolutely mind-blowing.
It was huge. We had 50 games, 18 exclusives, and 15 world premieres.
Yeah, and it all kicked off with the game that kind of made me jump out of my seat. I was like screaming, shouting, getting really excited, and that is Halo Infinite. It kind of kicked off with that kind of nice subtle trailer where it kind of had that like Halo 3-esque trailer style about it, where you're like questioning.
We weren't sure, were we? We were like, what is this? Is it, you know, like even we were like on the edge of our seats, like, what is this?
And then there's little things that you start noticing the Marines' armor, and then suddenly the Master Chief helmet drops into shot, and everyone went mental.
Benny was doing a little like happy scream.
Yeah, I was the same person that kicked in, and it was just like everything that you want. And what I found really interesting about it as well is it wasn't called Halo 6, which a lot of people were expecting it to be called. It is Halo Infinite, which is something that 343 have kind of stressed that they want to kind of go along the lines of. And I'm so excited to see what it's like.
Okay, so next game I wanted to chat about is Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Yeah.
So sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest, obviously. So it was the second thing we saw at the conference, and it just looks so stunningly pretty.
I think it's one of those things like when we first saw Ori and the Blind Forest, it is such a beautiful game, like the atmosphere, the music, and I definitely think from what we saw, that's going to carry over.
Exactly, it seemed very reminiscent of the first game. It wasn't any kind of standout, oh, they've really gone in a different direction. And it was very much keeping with that beautiful art style, the very like strong color themes in it, that very dreamy music and landscape. So if you were a fan of the first game, I have no doubt that this is going to be just as good.
So from a sequel to a prequel now, and a game that I got extremely excited about in the briefing because Todd Howard came out and talked to us for the very first time about Fallout 76, which is pretty exciting because it's 4 times bigger than Fallout 4, which, speaking of which, is now available on Xbox Game Pass, which you can go download, which is pretty awesome. And it's 4 times bigger.
I can't get my head around that because Fallout 4 is such a huge game.
Yeah.
How can they make it that times 4? That's insane.
Yeah,
but it was cool because obviously they had that reveal, that live stream reveal, like 24 hours of everyone going like, what is this game? And now we kind of get our first sort of glimpse into it, and it looks, incredible. So next, I wanted to talk about Crackdown 3.
Yeah.
So we had the wonderful Terry Crews back shouting at us very enthusiastically about Crackdown. Motivating us, getting us super hyped for the release date, which we now know is February 2019.
No, and I'm pretty excited about because from the trailer, we saw some awesome clips. We saw the buildings getting destroyed. We even saw this little segment where it turned into a tank and just like started trashing up the environment, which was pretty cool.
I love the bit where the car started driving up the building.
Yeah.
And just doing these like crazy loops. We saw mechs, so we're gonna be fighting mechs. We saw this mad scientist.
And then we also saw a couple little clips of collecting orbs, which was pretty cool. Like it's kind of reminiscence of kind of Crackdown 1 and 2 and those like kind of flashback memories.
Incredibly addictive orbs. So yeah, guys, February next year.
So next up in the briefing, we had a game that I think year on year is one of the most beautiful games on the Xbox by Playground Games, Forza Horizon 4. Stunning.
And it's set in the UK. Yes, it's our home. It's set in our home. Well, maybe not our home. So we saw a bit of Edinburgh, I think a bit of the Lake District, maybe a little bit of Devon, possibly?
Yeah, but no, what was really nice though is seeing it in all the different seasonal changes, because that's one of the biggest things with Forza Horizon 4 is those seasonal changes and how much it's going to affect your play, because there's going to be areas that you cannot normally get to unless the lake's frozen over, which is going to kind of give those elements that when you see the lake frozen, you're just going to be like, oh, you can get over here and find this secret. And because every driver is sharing that world, everyone is going to discover those together. There's not one person who's suddenly going to have this frozen lake and go, oh, there's this amazing secret. People are going to have to discover that as a community together, and also motorbikes.
Yes, and also I love the fact that they've made sort of chatting to other gamers really easy.
Yeah.
It's got like the D-pad, just kind of quick chat. You know, should we go check this out? Go along with them. You know, everyone in your world is a person. So it's gonna be this really like organic experience.
Yeah, it's just gonna have me like kind of running into people and just knocking them off the road.
People over.
Yeah, just knocking them off the road.
Pulling them out of their car and running them over.
Yeah, you know, just taking them off the track. But it's a game that Forza Horizon has always been one of my favorite games to play. The music's always incredible, the setting, it's one of the most picturesque games, and also that McLaren Senna, what a gorgeous car. 750 grand. Like, I want it. I want it.
Yeah, Forza Horizon 4 looks amazing. So next, I want to talk about a game that we've played lots together.
Yeah.
We played.
Sadly, because someone doesn't listen.
I will ignore that and move on. It's Sea of Thieves. So we learned about 2 new DLCs that we're going to be receiving. So it was quite a cool trailer, I thought, all about the Forsaken Shores, the way that's just like dark world where it's very like a skeleton pirate cruise and everything, and it's all fiery and red and lava and horrible.
So one of the things I really loved about that conversation actually is the fact that I can relate to that so much, because I am that person that is just like looking at that orb and he's like, oh, the horrors and the terrors this time. It's like, yeah, just give me the gold already. Give me the gold. I need to move on and sink some chips.
I love Sea of Thieves' sense of humor. Is the best.
Well, it's rare. Yeah. It's like they are the studio hands down known, right, for their kind of like their great fun, sense of humor, and an awesome bunch of people as well.
Nicest guys ever.
Yeah.
So 2 lots of DLC coming our way and not that long to go.
Yeah, and also after Megalodon as well, I cannot wait to get into it. Now, you love Sea of Thieves, but later on in the briefing, we actually got a game that I love and play a lot, which is The Division. And we got to see The Division 2 and some gameplay as well to boot, which just showed so much about the game. It's now not just kind of set in that city environment, which The Division was. You've kind of got a different environment. It starts off in a forest, and you're...
It was sort of like foresty, jungly bit, didn't it?
Yeah, and it's just kind of, because it's now set in Washington, like 27 days after the outbreak, you kind of seen the world descend into chaos, and it's just so cool to see. The gameplay we saw, you can see how far they've gone from the previous game. Like, there's new ways to collect loot, so they'll just moving through the world and they see a parachute in the sky which they're able to shoot and collect the loot from. You've then obviously got those boss fights as well where you can get the stronger loot, which we saw before they go charging into Air Force One. And then, which it kind of feels epic. I love those cooperative games. I love the games that you can hop on to with some friends and then have those kind of experiences, which I think Division 2 is just gonna be epic.
Another game which got everyone in the theater super excited was Devil May Cry 5. So this is a brand new main entry into the series. So we're playing as Nero again from Devil May Cry 4. So a little bit of familiarity there. But at the very end, we saw Dante. Yeah,
like that's my knowledge of Devil May Cry. Right, Dante, badass, pistol, sword.
Yeah, boom.
Awesome. Will be really awesome to actually get hands-on with the game.
Exactly. So we saw some pretty cool things in it. The style was a little bit of Ninja Theory and a bit of their own style, like they kind of blended the two. We also saw a bit of his arm. So before,
Saw an arm.
we saw his arm, but we did. So before he has a demon arm, but now it's more like a mech arm. So I don't know if that's going to affect the abilities and the gameplay. We'll obviously have to wait to find out. But that was a nice announcement though because it's been years since the last game.
Nice little teaser. It was also cool that they came on stage as well afterwards to kind of like hype it up. It's like one of the things when you see the developers come on stage and they're really passionate, and it's the reason that E3 is such a special time of year, because you get everyone together, get to share these experiences and see games like Devil May Cry. Now, you guys will notice that in this video, we've just been talking about games because the Xbox briefing this year was all about the games, and that's not going to change anytime soon because we've just announced 5 studios signed up to the family to make first-party titles for the Xbox One, including Playground Games, to make Forza Horizon 4. They're going to help bring their expertise into producing more first-party titles in that open world, which is going to be pretty cool and exciting to see.
Yeah, and we've also got Ninja Theory. So they are incredible with third-person action-adventure games. They also have really unique combat. So having their expertise joined to the family will bring a lot of interesting and exciting stuff.
Yeah, and then we've also got Undead Labs, who brought State of Decay 2 to Xbox last month.
Also Compulsion Games, who make We Happy Few. We saw a nice little trailer for that as well. So excited.
Yeah, and then as we're in LA, it's actually worth mentioning, we've also got The Initiative, who are going to be based in Santa Monica. So that's going to be 5 studios brought into the Xbox family, producing first-party titles for the Xbox One. It's going to be an exciting few years.
So a game that I absolutely loved last year was Cuphead, and I was so excited when it flashed up on our screens because this means we're getting some brand new DLC. So we don't know that much about it at the moment, other than it's called The Delicious Last Course, and we have a brand new playable character called Miss Chalice.
No, we actually do know a bit more than that. It's going to be freaking difficult. Well, all right, it's going to stress me out, just like Cuphead did last year. It's going to make me want to leave the room and then come back a few hours later and try again.
Yeah, exactly. But we can look forward to that frustration and misery and joy in 2019.
One of the biggest moments from the conference has got to be that Gears of War 5 troll, because everyone was like, oh my god, like the crowd went mental, and then I was like, it popped up, it was the Pops, which is also really cool and cute, but
you did hear a little sort of sigh of like, oh,
wait, what is this? But like then everyone got into it, because then we saw Gears Tactics as well, which is going to be really exciting, and then obviously Gears of War 5, which is going to be incredible. Bit more about Kate and kind of a bit more of her backstory and that Locust amulet that she got from her mother. It's going to be really cool to see how that story expands, and it looks stunning. And also JD Phoenix has kind of like lost his hair, that flush blonde hair that he had. Marcus has seemed to have aged less. He went for a shave, he cleaned up, it's like he's still looking sharp. But I am so excited for that game. It's a franchise that I've loved over the years. Can't wait to see more of it and get my hands on in 2019. It's gonna be cool.
So for me, one of the coolest bits of the conference was at the end, when we had Phil Spencer sort of wrapping everything up.
Yeah.
And then everything went weird, and there was like, it was like we'd been sort of encoded by some
I freaked out. There was a noise at the back, so I was sat on like the right-hand side, somewhere over there, and then there was this crazy noise at the back. I was like, what's going on? What's going on?
It was like a proper malfunction. I was like, how embarrassing for Phil. Like, oh my gosh. And then obviously realized it was part of the show. So anyway, so it was Cyberpunk 2077. We've known about this game for a while now, but this was our first kind of like, this is what it's going to be about. By CD Projekt Red, obviously, who made the Witcher series. We know how incredible that series is, so we can expect high hopes for this game.
Probably more beard growth.
More beard growth, I can only dream. So we saw a little bit of the kind of dystopian AI world. We saw sort of robot boxing, and these, you know, like girls like putting her face on, but she was a robot, and oh my god, it looks amazing. I know that there were some tears in the auditorium because people are so excited.
Yeah, especially like our editor Kieran as well. He is a massive Cyberpunk fan. But that's going to be awesome to see as well. And there was also something just before that happened that Phil Spencer said. They're working on consoles. Ooh. Okay, the next generation has already been worked on. I kind of feel that is a good place to wrap up, because that was the briefing. There's so much more we could talk about, because there was 50 games in under 2 hours. That is a lot of games, a lot of exclusives, a lot of world firsts.
Yep. We couldn't fit it all in this video, but honorable mentions: Kingdom Hearts 3. We saw the Frozen World. Very excited here. Also, Captain Spirit by Don't Nod, the guys who made Life is Strange. It's a free game and it's coming out soon.
Yeah. So guys, that is the Xbox briefing. Do make sure to let us know what you think down in the comments below. What was your favorite moment? What announcement are you most looking forward to? I'm personally cannot wait to see more on Halo Infinite. I am a big Halo fanboy. It's the game that kind of brought me into the gaming world. It's going to be awesome. It's been an amazing briefing. Really exciting. What about you?
Oh, I had a total blast. I love seeing a bit more of Forza actually. As a UK team, it's nice to see it, taking place where our roots are. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So guys, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button if that's what you're into for more E3 content, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.